Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Texas Gal Treasures. In today's video, I am going to be talking about that I make. There. I am going to be talking about 10 mistakes that new resellers frequently make. And of course, I love to use myself as an example because we were all new resellers at one point or another, and I am no different. So I'll be sharing some of the mistakes I made as a new reseller. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Please go down there and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any content. And I am live, so if you're here, we're going to play a fun poll later. I'm excited about that. And let's jump into my 10 things. I'm over here messing with mine. I haven't gone live in a little bit, so bear with me. I'm going to do my best to keep the chat topics on target. All right, so here we go. If you are a new reseller, or when you were a new reseller, I'm sure diving into this whole process of, all the ins and outs of being a reseller could be really daunting. And so I wanted to take a moment to step back because I know a lot of people are new to reselling and are just starting. And it's just like when you're starting to drive, or you're learning to knit, or you're learning any new thing, you have to be really meticulous about each and every little step of it because it's all new to you. So I wanted to share some things that I wanted you as a new reseller to keep in mind. The first thing that I know that I did as a new reseller was I over invested initially in inventory. Because that's the fun part, right? When you're going out and you're thrifting, you're garage selling, you're finding really cool things to flip online. And so you end up doing the fun part a lot. And it can really start getting overwhelming when you've got, we're not calling it a death pile anymore. What are they calling it? Money piles, or whatever people call it these days. You start having this accumulation of stuff just like piling up. I would like to say that ends at some point, but honestly, it hasn't for me because my dining room table in there is just full of stuff because it's kind of fun. Anyway, so avoid spending too much if you can initially until you really start getting the ball rolling. Hi, hello in the chat. Thanks for being here. If you're here live, say hello in the chat so I know you're here. All right, and as we're going along, if you're watching live or you're watching later, leave some of your mistakes or your like warnings for new resellers. Be sure to do this, don't do that in the comment section. Pardon me. I ate something that's giving me some reflux. Next up, this was a big one for me, was not really learning. Well, I won't say I'm not really learning. I'll say learning as I went. Shipping and handling and postage was the hardest thing for me. Everybody has something that's a little bit more challenging for them, but that was definitely the biggest hurdle that I had, figuring out like what kind of box to put things in, how to ship them safely. I had so many things break in the early days, making sure that I had enough postage or I charged enough postage. Yeah. So that was something that was really, really challenging for me. So that's something that I would encourage you to start slowly, like figuring out like, okay, I know how to ship this, and then moving on to the next size thing or fragile thing or weird shaped thing, and learning how much it's going to cost and what kind of supplies you're going to need. Hi, Jack and Katisha and Retro in the chat. Thanks for being here, you guys. Next up is ignoring market research. And that's just where you're just buying whatever and putting it up there. I have to say that I still don't do a whole lot of market research. I do some, but mostly because I sell a lot of jewelry, vintage items. I just try to make sure that the things that I am selling, I'll check, solds a lot of times to see, is it something that, I guess I do market research. I was at the thrift store the other day looking at mugs and certain items, and I was looking them up and checking on eBay solds to see if it was something that was selling. There might be 20 of them up for sale, but if there were none sold in the last 3 months, it wasn't something that I wanted to pick up. unless I will still pick things up if they have a huge profit, because I don't mind waiting for that to sell, even if it takes longer than 3 months. Hello, Kim. Happy New Year. Thank you. Pardon me. All right, next, I'm looking at my list down here when I'm looking down. The next thing I have some presentations for this one. All right, I wanted to share with you some pictures, and we're going to play a little game of can you spot what's wrong with this picture? Here we go. Screen share. Can you spot the problem? So this is an item, and this is the product photo. And just right off the bat, one of the things I would say is wrong with this, well, you can't really see, like get a good feel for what the item actually is. The hand is in the picture and the weird background happening there. I'm trying to find my other slides because I have it on slides so I can jump to the next one, right? And I would like to say I never put my hand in the picture anymore, but sometimes I do. So then here's the next picture in this listing. As you can see, okay, we've got a different background here, and it's completely blurry. It's super duper blurry, right? So you still can't see exactly the details of the item, and you can also not really see the full item. And here you go. This was I will give kudos on this picture that there is measurements in the picture, but again, the background's all over the place. You're still like, okay, it's kind of upside down. What is this thing? This is something that's sold, right? And I noticed I used this in another video. Oh, and then this is the listing details. This was the title: Preserved Rose Hat Pin Hijab Pin. This, I mean, there were so many other things that could have been put in this listing: lapel pin, stick pin. I mean, so many other things, right? And the description is, how unique is this? A real rosebud preserved for ornamentation. So this delightful pin measures, blah, blah, blah. All right. Glad that it had the measurements, but there were so many other things, y'all. And I got in trouble, not in trouble, but somebody fussed at me in one of the other videos because I used this in another video, and they didn't watch the video till the end because it was like 10 horrible things you never do with your listings. And they were all mine, right? But there were people that didn't watch to the end until I revealed that, no, these were my listings from when I first started. They were horrible. But I keep them for that reason, to show like, this is where I started, okay? So if I started here and got to where I am now, it's something anybody can do. So yeah, so make sure your photos, and it again is not something that you have to have perfection when you first start, but it's something to work towards, because if I had waited till everything was just perfect, I would have never started. So I jumped in and I was learning as I went. Okay, pictures are horrible. Let's work on this. Let's see how people take better pictures. Titles and descriptions are horrible. Let's see how I can fix these things. All right, let's look at the chat. Yes, these are my pictures. Let's see. Coco says, spend so much money for inventory. Maybe only me. No, my table. I need to go do like a walk of shame for my table. And Kim says, I'm so guilty of too much inventory, not listing as much as I should. Good photos are hard for me. Yeah. Yep. And you got the hand. You saw the chip in the item, my fingers. Yep. Wait, these are my pictures. Why not have it on a hat? Yeah, exactly. All of these fantastic ideas that I just didn't think of at the time. Let's see. I've had, oh yeah, seeing what's available, not checking sales. I do that still too. I have to agree, especially if I don't see any on eBay, then I'll check Google. Yeah. Yeah, these photo booths with the lights. Oh yeah, totally. I got a little pop-up one. I've tried a few different things over the years. Definitely. Okay. The next thing, I have so many tabs open, you guys. I kind of pushed two of these together. For product photos and descriptions. Okay, customer service. All right, this is another biggie, especially in some of the groups. I see a lot of new, actually there are still some like veteran sellers that still don't take pride in their customer service. And yeah, I get it. There's gonna be people that are frustrating and annoying, and they're gonna want to try to like, hey, this they try to want to get like a partial discount or but if you're always professional in your communication with people, usually you can work things out in the end. So making sure that you're professional with your customer service and not this is something I did not add on here, but I know a lot of new sellers, they're very eager to get uh their stars, their ratings up, right? And so they start emailing or messaging people to leave them reviews, and I'm opposed to that. Like I'll put a mailer in with mine, like hey, leave me a review, but I don't like pester people because my thing is like no news is good news. If they haven't left me a review, if it's bad, I don't want to pester them, and then they end up leaving me a bad review, you know. So just go with that direction with that. Next is not keeping track of finances. I was actually pretty good about this in the beginning because I was such a nerd about it. I had like a notebook because I was just like so excited about like I bought this for 50 cents and then I sold it for $30. And so I had a little notebook and I wrote everything down. And when I bought it and sold it, it just made me happy. And then I started making a spreadsheet. I just didn't have a whole lot of people to talk to about it. So I was just like getting excited on my own about things. So that is what I did. So try to keep track of what you're spending and what's coming in because you will have to pay taxes and it's going to come up, like how much did you spend? How much did you make? What are the fees? Da, 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 da. So keeping track of that kind of thing is really important. Ooh, let me take a sip. One sec. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, I'm flying through these. So I have a poll here in a second. We're going to do a poll. So, okay. The next thing is ignoring platform fees and platform rules. So I mentioned kind of keeping track of what the fees are on the platform because it really bites into your profits. And if you're not keeping an eye on that, especially when you're pricing your items, my dishwasher is a little loud. Oh, to just ignore it. Okay. But keeping an eye on the fees. So when you get paid, you're not like, wait a minute, where'd all my money go? Why didn't I make as much as I thought I would? And then this was something that it was a rookie mistake, not realizing that you can't sell like replicas. And so I thought, oh yeah, I had these, here's my example. I had these Chanel earrings, but I knew they were fake. And I just didn't know. It was just something I had to learn where I got to stop this. Hang on one second. It's gonna make me cry. Okay. I'm in my kitchen. Okay. But I just really didn't know. And everybody learns at a certain point. And I learned like trial by fire. I posted them and I put, replica faux Chanel earrings. Oh, that got taken now. Like that got warning, eBay, like all of that good stuff. Definitely. So make sure you're aware of what can and can't sell or what words you can't say. Like you can't use the word Velcro in an eBay listing, like if it has a Velcro closure, because Velcro is a trademarked word and they don't let you word. Anyway, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Somebody will correct me on what it actually is called. That Vero, Vero. I can't remember. All right, we talked about shipping. Oh, no, I didn't pull it up. But there was I do have it up. Okay. My first experience with bad shipping, right? My bad shipping. I sent this item out and I was so new. I really just didn't know how to ship things. Here we go. Let me open this up. So that's that one. I lost my window. I have too many windows open. Hold up. Where did you go? You get to, okay, I'm just going to have to start minimizing things. I thought I'm so with it today. I've got everything organized. Wait, there it is. I found it. Just too many things. Oh yeah, this was another one of my listings. Their pictures are so dark. Oh, that was another one for the photographs. I'm on the carpet. I just, whatever, didn't quite get it. But these things sold. These are all of my solds. So this is the first item that I had a really horrible experience with the well, I say with the buyer, but it was completely my fault. And I'm looking at my listing. It's awful, like the title and everything. But the let me see if I can make myself bigger here. No, I can't. I can't figure it out. Dang it, did I mess it up? I am trying to do things and it's been a little bit, so bear with me one second. All right, let's just put it back over here. There we go. I didn't package it properly. And y'all can make fun of me as much as you want because I am totally making fun of myself. The reason being, I packaged this in a box and I used newspaper to ship it. I didn't use one iota of bubble wrap, not one little teensy beensy bit. And it shattered. Surprise, surprise. But as I said, this was one of my probably my first 10 sales that I ever made. And I just didn't know. So yeah, the buyer was very mad and there was a refund and the item came back to me. Why they sent it back, I guess to show me, I'm not sure, but it was completely demolished. Yeah. We all make mistakes. That's the point here. And I learned from it. Guess what I bought after that? Bubble wrap. Live and learn, right? It was just newbies. Then the next thing I have on my list here, and then we'll do the poll, is ignoring. No, I already did that one. I just moved my thing. Being like inflexible with your strategy and how you're selling. I honestly see this more with veteran resellers, but I think newbies could probably learn a little from this. Some people are just they just want to have it this certain way, or this is what's always sold, so this is what I'm doing, or this is the way I've always done it, and getting really mad when eBay or Etsy or whatever platform changes their fees or makes new rules, and they just they can't handle it. They just lose their mind about it. But it's just the nature of it. There's going to be change. There's going to be new rules. There's going to be all kinds of things. So just knowing that it's just going to be a flow and a change all the time. So be flexible. It's going to be okay. Okay, let's do our poll. And then I'll share my last one. Let's see how I do in finding the poll with all my open windows. Don't tell me. Oh, I minimized it. That's where it went. There it is. Found it. All right, so here's the poll. If you're watching later, put it in the comments. But my poll question for us today, I'm trying to make myself smaller. How do I do this? There. Okay. What was your biggest challenge if you're a new reseller now, or if you were a reseller, if you were a new reseller? Oh, I can't get the words out. When you were a new reseller, what was your biggest challenge? Was it finding the right items to sell? Pricing? Was it shipping? Was it creating the listings, or was it customer service? So if you're here in the live chat, you can't see what it is anymore, then put your answer there. For me, guess what it was? It was shipping. But I definitely learned how to ship better. Finding the right item to sell. That's what Tracy says. Joanne says shipping. Oh, me too. Me too. Definitely shipping for me. And then the last item I had on my list. Okay, hang on. We got some more. Creating the listings. Yeah, I had trouble with that too, clearly. But things got better, right? And we just learn from all these mistakes that we make. The last thing I would at first you bought everything. Yeah. Photos. Yeah. Finding the right items to sell for sure. Creating listings. Yeah. Taking pictures of the part you don't like. Yeah, it's time consuming. Oh, organizing. Yeah, that's what I didn't add on the list. Organizing. What'd you say? Trying to get UPS to pay on an insurance claim. May the odds be ever in your favor for that one. Okay. Yeah, good photos are key completely. I mean, a picture could sell an item more than probably anything else. All right, the last thing, especially for new resellers, and I wouldn't say I did this completely, but this is copying other people blindly. So like it's really good to learn from other resellers, learn from people in Facebook groups or YouTube or that kind of thing. But just to do what they say without checking it out for yourself and seeing how it works for you. Because some people will share, like when I first started, like suits were big, suits and ties and men's da da da. Da. And so I went and bought a bunch of, I think maybe I sold one suit. Eventually I just lotted all the suits up and like sent them to somebody else that was really good at selling suits. Mm. But you've got to find what you like and what you like to sell and what's selling for you. I bought these suits and I'm like, what do people do? How are they selling them? No, they're not selling for me, you know? So that was a mistake I made too, is instead of going out and buying one or two suits to see like, are they going to sell for me, or ties? People say, oh, this brand tie sells, blah, blah, blah. You go buy, oh my gosh, I found some. Take them home, take pictures, list them, and then they don't sell. So then you have to wonder, either they're finding specialty ones of that brand or they're not really selling, or there's something I was missing. But instead of buying a couple and seeing how it went, I bought like 10 or 15 or more because I was like, yes, I'm going to do this. Yeah, don't do that. Thanks, Better Barbie. Yes, smash the like button. Ooh, we have some more poll answers. Finding the right items to sell, finding the best, finding the best item, listings, definitely. Okay. Oh, you used too many platforms at first, Angela. You know what? That's a good point too. When I first started, I started on Etsy because most of the things I was selling initially were vintage items. And then I started on eBay. So I would say, yeah, that would be hard as a new, I mean, sometimes it's hard for me still juggling all the platforms. So I imagine as a new seller, it would be even more mind boggling. Okay. So if you are watching now or if you are watching later, then answer that poll question. Let me know in the comments section. What was your biggest mistake as a new reseller? And this is where I am right now, I'm trying to get back in the swing of things, Yep, master. And that's a good point, Angela. Master one thing at a time, because as horrible as my pictures were, my shipping was, my titles, my descriptions, everything was horrible. I just kept going and started saying, okay, I'm going to focus on this aspect and just try to get better at my listings. And then this aspect, try to get better at my photography, shipping, like really diving deep, trying to get better at one thing at a time. That was a really good way to handle that for sure. Thank you so much for coming to hang out. I'm so glad I got to come on live. I've been working on, pardon me, I ate something that's giving me reflux. I mentioned that earlier. I think it was these 2 Oreos. Will Oreos give you reflux? I don't know. Anyway, sidetracked. I've been working on my website and I'm working on a video series. So I had to I say I had to get away from my computer, but I had to get away from like this on my computer and come and hang out with you. I needed to see you. All right. I hope you guys are having a great evening and not super snowy like we are tonight. And I'll talk to you later. Thanks for hanging out. Bye, everyone.